Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Announcing the arrival of guest of honor, Madam AYSHA BINTI Arifin, Head of Hospital to meet 46 national team, program managers, lecturers, panels, and moderators.
Istana ilmu berdiri, realisasi aspirasi murni, lahir generasi berbuah diri di persada dunia. Kini melangkahlah dengan pasti, misi menjadi universiti pilihan, amanah ditendang, menggapai impian. Kita terbilang independent science university, independent science university, teruskan misi dalam diri. Misi nomor, misi kami, impian jadi reality. Prestasi yang cemerlang, kerajuan dan hilang, berbanggalah negara dan warganya. MSU bernama, MSU kan terus maju, terbuka kejayaan. MSU terus terbilang, menjadi universiti pilihan, kebanggaan. Impiankan jadi reality, prestasi yang cemerlang, kerajuan terbilang, berbanggalah negara dan warganya.
Thank you, everyone. You may take a seat.
Salam sejahtera. Very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, this is BINTI goes to the London.
The flight recorder has been found on the floor of the Java seat.
Salam Sejahtera and very good morning to all of you again. I would like to appreciate the presence of Head of Hospitality Department, Madam AYSHA Mimi, SHCA Management Team, Program Managers, Lecturers, and our panels for today, Dato Sri Azharuddin bin Abdul Rahman, former Chairman of Civil Aviation Authority Malaysia, and former Director General of Department of Civil Aviation, Captain FARHAN bin FADZIL, pilot and flight instructor from Firefly Airline, Mr. Muhammad Sabri bin Ismail, aircraft engineer from Asia Digital Engineering Capital A, our moderator, Ms. Nur Anisa Fika binti Hasni, and our beloved participants, welcome to the Black Box Talk from Land to Sky. My name is Levesh. It's my honor to be the MC of this seminar. In this 1.5 hour seminar, we will delve and discuss about aviation industry and aircraft incidents which occur in this industry. Ladies and gentlemen, with a big round of applause, let us welcome our Head of Hospitality Department, Madam AYSHA Mimi, to come on stage and officiate this seminar. With that, thank you, Madam AYSHA Mimi, for officiating our seminar. Please be on the stage to give a token of appreciation to our panels and moderator. We would like to invite our panels to come on stage and receive their token of appreciation. First, we would like to invite Dato Sri Azharuddin bin Abdul Rahman, followed by Mr. Muhammad Sabri bin Ismail, Captain Muhammad Farhan bin FADZIL, our moderator, Ms. Nur Anisa Fika binti Hasni, lastly, I would like to invite our project manager, ALYA HANA binti AMINNUDIN, on stage to give the token of appreciation to Madam AYSHA Mimi. Thank you, ALYA. VIP, panels and moderator, please join me on the stage to take the floor.
Okay, camera. 1, 2, 3. Okay, one the best. Okay.
Now, let us gather to take a group photo with the audience before we proceed to the seminar session. Everyone, please gather at the center of the hall. Come closer, come closer. Thank you, everyone. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to start the seminar. Let us be attentive and gain knowledge. We are honored to have our esteemed speaker who has immense expertise on aviation industry. This session will be conducted by Ms. Nur Anis, a passionate aviation student who has demonstrated a deep commitment to her field. She initially studied in Qatar, gaining valuable international experience and exposure towards the aviation industry. Driven by her love for the home country, she returned and pursued her bachelor's degree in Airline Services Management at Management and Science University. Now, in her final year, Ms. Nur Anis is dedicated to achieve her dream on working in the aviation industry as a ground handler, where she can contribute to the efficient and a safe operation of an airline. Without further ado, I'd like to invite our moderator, Ms. Nur Anis AFIQAH, to be on stage. With that, I'd like to invite Dr. Hasliza, Captain FARHAN, and Mr. Sabin.
Hello.
Anis, the floor is yours.
Hello. Can you guys hear me? Yes. Okay. How are you guys? Yeah, you guys good? Good? Dah makan ke? Oh, belum. Okay, after this korang makan, okay? Okay. So basically, this is going to be a very leisure seminar. So first, hi, assalamualaikum, a very good morning. I'm Anis, I will be your moderator for today's seminar. For today's topic, it will be the black box talk from land to sky. Assalamualaikum. Good morning. You can use the mic.
Morning all.
So first, I would like to ask if there's any international students here. Okay, there's quite a few here. Okay. So basically, our panel, you can use, possibly you can use English throughout the seminar. You can use dual language actually. BM or Malay. I mean BM or English. Sorry. Nervous. Okay. So we have an amazing panel of experts here. So on my first left, we have Dato Sri. Should I call you Dato Sri? Dato Sri is fine.
Okay,
Dato Sri. Okay. So on my first left, we have Dato Sri Azharuddin Abdurrahman. He's a veteran in aviation management with nearly 4 decades of experience. His career includes role as an airworthiness inspector, director of airworthiness, and director of operations, and director general of the Department of Civil Aviation Malaysia. He has also served as the chairman of the Civil Aviation Authority Malaysia and a former director of My Airline and Negeri Sembilan Corporation, among other positions. And Dato Sri is also part of the MH370 Search Coordinator and MH17 Accident Investigation Accredited Representative for Malaysia, and the president of the 39th Assembly of the International Civil Aviation Organization, ICAO 2016. All right. Welcome to MSU, Dato.
thank you.
Okay. So in the middle, we have Captain Muhammad Farhan bin Fazila, who is a professional pilot with 10 years of experience in the airline industry. He has accumulated over 5,000 flight hours and served as a certified flight instructor, both simulator and line flying. Captain Farhan has held possible positions at Berjaya Air and Firefly Airlines, where he advanced from second officer to captain and flight instructor. Right, sir?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. Welcome to MSU, sir.
Yes, thank you.
At our far left, we have Mr. Muhammad Sabri Ismail, a B2 licensed aircraft engineer with over 14 years of experience in avionics maintenance. He currently works at Asia Digital Engineering and has previously contributed his expertise to Safe Air, Malinder Air, and Malaysia Airlines. specializing in the maintenance of various aircraft such as the A320 and B737 series. Right?
Yes.
So welcome to MSU, to our panelists and to our students as well. So before we go to our seminar, so let's have a quick chit chat with our panel here. Okay, so how was your journey coming from your house? Like, how's the MSU environment so far?
Not too bad. See, I need a pilot to help me. Not too bad. I expect more cars on the road because it's the first day after school holidays. So it was a good trip from Putrajaya to MSU. Quite familiar with MSU in a way.
For sure.
Came here before a few times. So thank you for inviting me. Thank you. I think you are doing a fantastic job in having this kind of seminar, which even the people in the industry also have not done this seminar before. I think it's a very good exposure to all of you. And I see that some of you are pilots here, correct? Wearing uniform. PPM? Yes. And they studied in the school that I was attached to, Flying Academy 4. Thank you. Okay.
Used to. Change ATO.
Okay.
So how are you, Captain?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, good morning, everybody.
Morning.
So, it's my first time inside the university environment. So I'm quite surprised that actually now they offer pilot courses via MSU. During my time, after SPM, we went straight to flying school. So there's no in between with liaise with university, then going for the ground class, then flying. That is straight to flying school. So it's a welcome surprise. I'm happy there's a lot of pilots here. Yeah, so it makes me less nervous, to be honest.
Kalau tak tadi Captain nak goreng kan?
So I tak boleh nak goreng
kat sini. Tak boleh. Future pilot.
Yeah, you are all already on the flying phase? Some of us. Oh, so the rest still PPL ground class lah?
Yes.
Right. Okay. How was it so far? Susah? Senang? Challenging, it gets tougher. Yeah, okay, thank you for inviting me. I'll share what I can.
Okay. Thank you, Captain. Mr. Sabi, you can share a little.
Good morning.
Morning.
Okay, so you can see pilots. So any other course? Airline management. Aircraft maintenance. Oh, thank you. So first batch?
Second batch.
Oh, second batch. Okay. Because engineering is the unsung heroes of the aviation. So we are very less famous in the aviation world. So because we work mostly in the night shift. So in the morning shift, we only stand by for the aircraft operation to make sure the aircrafts fly. So to make the cabin crew, the passenger, and the pilot happy. Okay. So I think that's it.
That's a wonderful experience from Mr. Sabri here. I heard that you have a presentation, a slide, is it?
Yes, I have
Allah, pilot tolong, Captain.
Yes, I had presentation because of the very wide issues that they were going to ask. I went through the question that they presented to me. I was quite surprised that it was first surprise because it was being organized by the hospitality department. Okay. Mana engineeringnya, mana pilot. But then I came to know that there are courses relating to aviation. So it's good that you brought up this issue. It's good that I try to gave a bit of indication what are the safety aspect and what you need to know how the airline does their things. Not exactly answering the question that you posed to me, but there are similarity to what I'm going to do.
Yeah, there is some similarities between that.
For you who have seen the slides, the PowerPoint slides that I'm going to show that we have seen before, don't worry. I know sometimes legal law can be very dry subject, can be very boring subject. I try to make it as interesting as possible. I'm going to touch what is currently we are doing, what is our ecosystem in Malaysia on aviation, and a big PEK on the future, because your president, when he addressed the audience this morning in opening of this event, also touched on the future. So we have to be wholesome. By the way, I started my career as a trainee engineer, just like Sabri, that's some of you. So I'm an aircraft maintenance engineer once, long time ago. So can we do the presentation?
Yeah, sure.
Without wasting any time, I'll go. The question is, what are the challenges that faced by the airline? Okay, this is the first page. I can see that. Okay. Next. Have you all seen this video before? Some of you have seen. The yellow spots are the airline that flies in the world in the 24 hours. You see how busy. If you look at North America, you look at Europe, at a certain time of the day, it's nothing but aircraft in the sky. If you look at the Asia Pacific region, that also the aircraft been flying. A lot of the aircraft flying there. So this is what is the challenges to the authority, to the airline, that we have to make sure that every aircraft that depart, that take off, land where it should be safely. And recently we have heard a lot of things going on, which I'm going to touch a bit on it. Okay, this is my first slide. The next slide is the contents. Next, the contents that I'm going to give a bit of briefing in the next 10-15 minutes. I brush it off. Any question you can ask, but you can ask later pun boleh juga. So I will touch what is the environment of the aviation now in Malaysia, international. What are the things that you have to know, especially on the legal side, because a lot of people have missed out. What you're doing in the aviation industry, all have a reason why you do it, and all goes back to the legal part of it. Everything is legal. By the way, aviation is one of the industry that's very regulated. Everything is regulated. Even you fly, so you must wear uniform. That's also a regulation that you must wear uniform to show that you are a pilot and in charge, a commander in the aircraft. Next. The aviation ecosystem is interrelated with each other. You have the ICAO, International Civil Aviation Organization, the highest policy body making in civil aviation. And every state member to ICAO, they call it contracting states. We call National Aviation Authority, have to comply to the ICAO requirements. The annexes that I'm going to show you how many annexes. I think the pilot should know. Annex 1, personnel licensing, Annex 19, safety management and all that. Then you have the airlines who operate the aircraft, and they have to comply to the requirements of the authority of the land, the law of the land, and subsequently to the international legal system. And you have aircraft have to land somewhere. Then you have the service provider, the airports, and they also have to comply to the requirement of the law. And aircraft have to be maintained by MRO, have to be approved. The people like Cik Sabri here are the licensed aircraft engineer who certify the aircraft fit to fly, ABDUL. And of course, you have the we have the manufacturers who manufacture the aircraft have to comply to the requirement of the ICAO as well, to Annex 8 airworthiness, Annex 6 operations and all that. So it goes in circle, everything is interrelated. So we are all in the industry together. We all have our responsibility of making the flight and the passenger travel and the crew traveling on the aircraft able to land as where it should be safely. Next, if you look at the ecosystem of this sub-segment, which give you the more pictorial about what I talk about, and then we go ahead. I can come back if you ask question on this. Next, this is the ecosystem of Malaysia aviation industry on the high level. The policy the policy body making is the Ministry of Transport, and under Ministry of Transport you have two regulators, MAVCOM, Malaysia Aviation Commission, and Civil Aviation Authority of Malaysia. MAVCOM is the regulator for economics. So if you want to apply to fly an aircraft, to have an airline, you apply to MAVCOM first. They will give you the license or the permit. License for scheduled flight, permit for unscheduled flight. Then if you get that license, then you go to Civil Aviation Authority, the technical regulator, for you to get the air operator certificate. Then you have both ASL and AOC, then you can fly, carry passenger to the place where they approve to you. Then you have the airlines, the big three airlines, MAS, AYSHA, and Malindo. It was Malindo, now Batik. I didn't change it. Then the service provider, the biggest airport operator, Malaysia Airports. So this is a landscape. This is the ecosystem of Malaysia. So I think you must know this. This it is. Next, we're going to be a bit fast because I will let no time for them to talk. I don't want to talk all the time. This I take from the Aerospace Blueprint 2030. In 1997, these are the people involved in aviation on my right side. Now you see, very crowded. So very crowded. So what it means? Very crowded. You need people. You need skilled people. You need good people to work with them, and you must maintain the integrity. You must maintain the standard. You must maintain the high level of safety in all these companies. Next, then you have tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. Tier 1 means they are the manufacturers. Tier 1 manufacturer of high critical component, the aircraft, the wings, like Sunstrand manufacture brakes, the aerospace system manufacture the components of the wing, and it goes down tier 2. Secondary component of aircraft, parts, not parts, component parts, and then the tier 3 are the components manufacturers. We have manufacturers of aircraft in Malaysia. Yeah? When Alaska Air incident where one of the door was sucked out of the aircraft, and they noticed that the door was made in Malaysia. A lot of people laugh. A lot of my friends even they say, "Hey, Malaysia punya door takkan tak boleh buat door. Betul ke Malaysia buat door? Is it true that Malaysia manufacture the door?" It's not only door that Malaysian company manufactures now. It also manufactures a lot of wing components for Airbus, the flaps, the ailerons. We have companies in Melaka, we have companies in Bukit Kayu Hitam, ACM, who manufacture parts, but they come under subcontract of Boeing or Airbus. And when the Alaska incident came out in the news, everybody is saying that, oh, it must be Malaysia who doesn't know what they're doing. As if we are still live on trees, you know. And if you see the door when it was sucked out, it maintains as a door in one unit. So the expert will know straight away that it's not the door that caused the problem, it's something else. Yes, it came out to be the other way around. The mechanics who fitted the door does not fit it as per the manual. So as per that's what happened. Okay, next. I don't want to go through many things. Next, the MRO, they have MRO, the training providers, MSU tak ada. Ada MSU.
Soon dapat.
Next. Okay. Okay, can you go previous? I don't want you to look at it. In airline industry, for the aircraft to fly, the aircraft have to fly at a certain time as advertised and to reach a certain time. So there are so many people involved. Some you see at the airport, some you don't see, some at the background, some in the hangar. But these are the people that involved. Any one of these people who make mistake, who does not follow the requirement, who delay the aircraft, then it costs tons of money to the airline. And also, if they make mistake, the aircraft might require to be grounded, cannot fly. If somebody, even a driver who carries your makan, your food to the aircraft, accidentally knock the aircraft, puncture a hole, that's it. Somebody will say, ground the aircraft. We have to rectify the defect, and it costs the airline something. So these are what is going on. But this is so busy. These are the things that what people are involved in on the line, we call it. The next slide, it shows you the more modern approach of how look at things. The next slide. Now they brought in how to solve it, how to do it systematically. Then you got to have the manuals, then you have the people, then you have the technology, and also you have the external factor. All these things are the most important thing is on the this type of subject is manual. You must have manual document. So what we airline used to say that everything you do must be documented. What you do, what is documented, that's what you must do. And of course, this document manuals are living documents, have to upgrade it, have to update it, and these are the documents that will approved by the authority. The authority will read line by line, word by word, make sure that you follow the requirement. What laws are we talking about? Next. This is a typical airline. I won't tell you which airline. I think you can guess. How they come out with the corporate safety and quality, and they have to have a organization approved by the authority to look at the flight schedule. Is it flying on time to the route that they follow? They have to look at if anything happens, then they have to have emergency, what you call this, emergency response, and then corporate safety, flight data analysis, all been looked at every day. These people are looking at all these aspects. So they have a team, a good team, and must be approved. And they report direct to the CEO of the company, and they also can report direct to the authority if they want to. If the CEO doesn't listen to them, they can go direct. Next, I don't want to spend this. Malaysian Aviation Law, you must know this, the Civil Aviation Act 1969, all these laws. Kalau exam, they ask this law. You must read this. This is the law of the land. Next. This is the convention that the law must follow. The most famous convention is Chicago Convention 1944. The first very convention. You see what happened after the Second World War? They got a lot of excess pilot. Kan? Sekarang ni pilot dah cukup kan? So and then the countries used to fly from one country to one country. At that time, they say that a few countries say that, hey, we must have a law that not only we are more efficient in flying one place another place, but we have to be take consideration of the safety aspect of it. Then they meet together in Chicago. That's why it's Chicago Convention in the year 1944. Before we were all born, yeah. If you read this convention, you must read this convention. It's still applicable until today. Next. And the convention also have annexes. There are 19 annexes. These annexes, we call it SARP, Standard and Recommended Practices. You must follow. No question of it. And IKO, to make sure that you follow, they come to each country to audit you, compliance audit. That's why you have heard that 3 years ago, our rating by the FAA, Federal Aviation Administration of US, they have the right to audit us. And they say that we did not comply to the IKO annexes. That's why downgraded from category 1 to category 2. That means we cannot fly to US, we cannot add additional aircraft, a lot of things, sanctioned, so they can apply to us. So this recommended, this subs you must know, you must read personal licensing Annex 17 security, Annex 19 safety management. Safety management, I like to talk about safety management. Those days, we learned from the aircraft that crashed. What happened, why it happened, then we correct those. Then we found out that a lot of incident happens in between, not crash, incident. And this incident have created a lot of problems, aircraft delay, passenger unable to reach their destination on time, and cargo, perishable cargo damage, and it costs millions to the airline. So even before the accident happened, we must know what's going on. We must address the situation, and these are the job of all of us in the aviation industry, to be aware of what we are doing, to do things as per requirement, to do things so that the aircraft is safe to fly. And still the safest mode of transport, the safest mode of transport in statistics. Although you hear a lot of incidents, because any aircraft accident, front page newspaper for a few days. But if car accident, one family perished, five in the family died, you only read it in page 4, 5, 6, and that's it. Tomorrow you never read again. So a lot of, then the latest one, Singapore Airlines with clear air turbulence. Hari newspaper, how many days in newspaper? Just talk about it. So this is why, because a lot of people fly, a lot of people expect the service to be good, and alhamdulillah, so far our country is not that bad. Next, okay, in the future, I just want to glance through what we have to do in the future, which they already talked about, which your president talked this morning. AI. Apa lagi tak AI kan? Next. You have AI. We have to look at the regulation. We have to look at the training. We have to look at competency. We have to look at the whole lot again. Because okay, I'm going to talk about pilot. Years ago, there are 5 people in the cockpit. You have the captain. Sorry, captain. I touch your subject. You have the captain, you have the first officer, you have the flight engineer, you have the navigator, you have the radio operator. When the radio becomes smaller, not digitalized at the time, more easier to handle, more clearer to talk to people on the ground, the radio operator lost his job. So tinggal lah 4 orang. And then when they have the new equipment, able to show the pilot where they're going, the navigator lost his job. And when the aircraft become digitalized. The pilot can know what are the state of the system of the aircraft just looking at the front portion of the cockpit. Then the flight engineer lost his job. Tinggal left with one co-pilot, one captain. So they say the co-pilot is thinking now whether when I'm going to lose the job because AI will take over. Will AI take over? That is our worry. That is our worry because right now when you have any emergency, the captain just flip over the manual or look at the iPad. These are the things that they need to do. In AI, the new system and anything happen like clear air turbulence, anything happen, the voice will come out and say that, Captain, you have to do this. Captain, you have to do this. Captain, you might be that way, because the AI is very intelligent, able to know more than what the pilot were able to know. And they can create a situation, but is it reliable? That's the question. Is it foolproof? How about if the electrical system is dead, then you don't have speakers. So the pilots go back to the old if they got time. So sorry to say that because aircraft is flying about 400, 300 miles per hour in the air. Yeah? So your reaction to must be very fast. So even engineering also, nowadays they go by the book to say that what goes wrong with the system and troubleshooting will be done systematically by the book. Hopefully lah kan, hopefully. AI might tell you, hey, Sabri, you have to look at this, change this. Sabri pun fikir, betul ke ni AI cakap ni? So if you don't comply to it, you might infringe the requirement. You might do the wrong thing and delay. If you follow, can it be trusted? So that's the feature. Okay, I'll stop here. Thank you very much. I'll come back later.
I guess Datuk Sri has already summarized all of my questions. So thank you, Datuk. It's okay, no problem. So basically that's the history or the law that you must know in the aviation industry. So whatever it is, you must follow by the book, right, Datuk? Yes, okay. So I'll jump to Captain Farhan. Right, Captain Farhan. So I'm going to touch a little bit on your experience of being a pilot, right? So what is your most memorable flight?
Memorable. I've been flying for about 11 years with Firefly. Memorable experience, banyak lah, there's a lot. Ranging from positive, okay, not so good, to bad. All of it are memorable. Okay? Memorable doesn't have to be good. It can be bad as well. But, I'll touch on one that I remember, positive one, because I don't want to scare the juniors here. Nanti terus tukar kerja jadi engineer.
Tak ada takut. You wanted to be a British pilot, of course.
Yeah, but in Malaysia, if you're working as a pilot, I would say one of the biggest challenges is the weather, right? The weather in Malaysia, you have to face from hot weather to rain to monsoon, and then haze, and all that brings challenges, right? So I remember one time I was doing, this was about 2 years ago, monsoon season. I was doing Langkawi to Subang, right? Firefly operates domestic basically, right? So it was during the monsoon season. After takeoff from Langkawi, it was weather all the way, right? We couldn't release the passengers. Service from the cabin crew could not be done. Basically, we are in about light to moderate turbulence all the way from Langkawi to Subang. The forecast weather when we depart says that Subang weather is supposedly okay, but when we arrived there, not good. It was quite bad as well. But we continued with the approach, And bear in mind, it was turbulence all the way. Down to our minimum height. Me and my co-pilot, we look up, we could not see the runway. So we couldn't continue the approach, we went around. Go around means that basically you cancel the landing to those who are not familiar with the term. You cancel the landing because you are unstabilized or you cannot see the runway basically. So if you cannot see the runway, how can you land? So you go around right? Then now after you go around, you need to find somewhere to wait for the weather to improve, right? So we started looking at our weather radar. We can see the coastal side of Port Klang is relatively clear. So we went there. Then we started to hold to wait for the weather to improve. And suddenly my cabin crew called me, says, Captain, for information, at the cabin, the passengers are worried and there's about 3 of them that vomited on the floor. So even with the air sickness bag, tak cukup. Still keluar Maggi lah, keluar the chips lah.
That can be one of your memorable flight lah.
Memorable lah for me. One of many. Alright. So now you can imagine with the cabin starting to smell, right? So it's getting uncomfortable to the passengers as well. And now we as a pilot, we have to decide, okay, do I attempt another landing or do I go back to maybe divert Johor ke Penang or Langkawi? All right. So at the time, it was quite a bit of a tough decision because monsoon season throughout Malaysia was weather, right? So if you divert to Penang ke Langkawi, it's the same thing, still weather juga. So we decided to make another attempt at Subang, right? We waited for about 10 to 15 minutes, then the ATC called us, tell us that the weather has improved marginally. Not improved so much that is nice to go for the approach, but just marginally. So I pun minyak tak banyak. My fuel state, I left about 15 or 20 minutes of fuel left before I have to divert. So we made the decision, okay, let's make another attempt, right? So coming for landing, Alhamdulillah, by the time we reach our minimum height, we could see the runway. So we proceed to land, right? What made it memorable was, after we landed, masuk parking, normal in Malaysia, passengers, bila you coming for landing, door open, they will disembark, go to the arrival hall, take their bag, ciao. Okay, but there's this one family, which made it memorable for me, was that this one Malaysian family disembarked the aircraft, went to the arrival hall, took their luggages, they waited for us. They waited for us. So bila I dengan my crew left the aircraft, we went through the arrival hall. His mother stopped us, kata, sorry Captain, are you the one that operated Langkawi to Subang? Because I'm so used to receiving complaints, so I said, ni confirm nak complain ni. Because I dah ready lah. Because I know they are vomited in the flight deck lah. Vomited in the cabin. But to my surprise, they said, Captain, thank you so much for bringing us down safely. I know it's not an easy decision to make. And we were quite scared and worried. But thank you so much to your crew as well to reassure us and brought us down safely. So that really stuck with me. That's one of the... once I received the compliment, semua rasa penat, tired, fatigue, all gone. I felt like I can go back to face the weather again.
Face the weather again,
So the power of thank you is really strong lah. Yeah.
It's like a bittersweet memories for you lah.
Yeah. So that's one good ones lah. Bad one semua, if you want to know, nanti you PM to P.
Yeah, you guys can jump down to questions. So at the end of the seminar, you guys can ask the questions to our panel. Okay. So next we'll jump to Mr. Sabri. Hello, sir. Hello. So my first question is, how do you handle emergencies or unexpected situations while in flight?
All right, as an engineer, we cannot do anything when we are on the air because that's the pilot's job. Okay, but I experienced once. This is the flight from KL to Dili, Timor-Leste. Me and my crew members, we flew around 4 a.m. because the original plan is to fly on 3 or 4 p.m. But there's a display management computer failure on the evening, so I have to wait for the spare. So we borrow the spare from Batik Malindo. Then I changed the computer. Then the flight plan changed from 3 p.m. to 3 a.m. So the flight delay, there is a charter flight, okay, not a scheduled flight, because there is during MCO, okay. So we send Dili people, the Timor-Leste people, our Malaysian people that works in Dili. There's many Chinese in Timor-Leste actually. They're doing business. So, so we went back at 2 a.m. I powered the aircraft, then the pilot came. Then we flew around 3 or 4 a.m. I don't remember. At 5 a.m., the pilot called me. Sabri, our weather radar is US unserviceable. So I see at the defect, so I cannot do anything, okay? Because the company doesn't approve me to reset on the flight, the weather radar. So on the cockpit, on the display unit, on the navigation display, there's no weather, only black and only the waypoint, like the GPS. So the pilot cannot predict the weather ahead. So usually if it's a severe weather, it's pinkish, okay? So the pilot, sebenarnya dia macam terbang buta lah. So they only refers on the weather report, okay? Okay, so the pilot dia macam malu lah, macam sepatutnya dia kena actually pilot have to make stand whether to divert or to turn back to Kuala Lumpur or continue flight. So the pilot decides to continue the flight because now it's 5 a.m. We have 1 hour to get the sunrise. Then bila dah terang, boleh tengok weather, so boleh elak-elak kan. So kita orang pun sampai Dili. So we arrive at Dili. Then after touchdown, all the passenger disembark. So I inspect the weather radar transceiver. Weather radar transceiver is a computer that receive weather from the weather radar and computes and give display to the navigation display, okay? So I can see the weather radar transceiver is a bit dirty. So macam kita tengok komputer lama yang tak bersih kan, kipas dia slow, dia punya belakang tu hitam, penuh dust, dirt semua kan. So I remove the transceiver, I clean the transceiver, then I put back, I re-rack, I do the operational test of the weather radar. And suddenly the Civil Aviation Authority of Timor-Leste came to the cockpit, came to the aircraft and asked me, what happened to the aircraft? So I just tell the truth lah kan. This is a problem, blah, 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 blah. So he asked me, is it the aircraft safe to fly? So I do the test, I do the functional check of the weather radar in front of him. So nervous juga kan. So luckily the weather radar operates normally in front of the civil aviation officer. So then I declare the aircraft serviceable to fly fit to fly, it's airworthy, and the pilot accepts. Then the next hour, the passenger from Delhi masuk kapal, then fly to KL back. So I think that's the not emergency but glitch lah, glitch.
Yeah. It must be a glitch from
Yeah.
the cockpit.
Yeah. So for me, AI, future generation AI, I'm not very confident with AI. Okay, because this we need human thinking to do the decision whether to continue flying, and the engineers to rectify the problem, to know the problem, because I think AI pun maybe dia tak tahu pun, maybe dia boleh bagi tahu overheat, computer overheat, maybe dia cuma bagi tahu pilot to divert semua, so macam mana pun pilot punya decision jugalah. Okay, so that's all.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Sadri. To Dato' Sri. Okay, so this is the call question. So the first question is, can you share some insights into the responsibilities and contributions of a safety officer in the aviation industry?
As I show the organization chart of safety and quality of a typical airline, so they are responsible to the corporate safety. They call it corporate safety because they look at the total safety that been done or requirement be practiced by each of the department. Even ground handler. Certain airline they don't have people to do ground handler. Then they outsource to company A. But that doesn't mean that they leave it as that. They are the airline. They are responsible. They must work with the outsourced companies to make sure that they perform their work as per the regulation. Same like security. If you go to airport, you see the security handled by the Malaysia airports, berhad security personnel. But the airline is responsible, so they must know the flow of the passenger that goes through the correct channel. That have been the whole body has been searched, been X-rayed. The baggage that goes into the belly of the aircraft has been well scrutinized, not open. But you know that if your baggage is suspected to carry unlawful items, the
Contraband.
Okay, whatever lah, contraband, whatever, drugs lah kan. Then the authority have the right to open your bags. That's why certain countries they have the bags must have lock, the TSA lock. The TSA is Transport Security Administration of US. They have the right to open, even all the. So the corporate safety also look at how the pilots fly the aircraft. They analyze any aircraft that veer off the airways. The airways that have to be relooked, restudy what are the costs, and also certain aircraft they when they land too heavy, beyond the limit of the flight manual. Then they will look at it again. Even the sweeper of your hangar floor also have got to know the safety management awareness. He's very important because if he let the floor to be dirty, people sleep on the floor, people fell down, and any leakages for the aircraft. At least he mentioned that to his superior or to the engineer. Hey, ada leaking lah, bocor lah ni kapal. So the engineer might not notice it because he himself sweeping the floor. He aware that there is something wrong with the aircraft. And so that's a good practice. The practice is very important. That's the role of the corporate safety. It's not only to be like policemen to look. No, we don't work like policemen anymore. We rely on reports. We rely on audits we rely on surveillance, we rely on feedback from the staff. Very, very important, the feedback from the staff. Like you all, maybe you fly, you carry food, but then you might see something that you are not very happy with. Then you have to inform. You have to come up with a report to say that this is unsafe situation. Because if he didn't report it, his friend also might meet the same experience and then see the same thing. And they talk coffee shop like, hey, that day I saw this. There's a big hole on the road. Itu tak apa. I just selalu pergi situ. So people might take things easily, but then after a few days, people might forget about it until there is a big hole and something damaged or something got hurt. So everything small or big, you must report. So this is something that we always encourage the staff to do. So this are the things corporate. It involves the whole aspect of safety. Everybody is responsible because safety is paramount. There's no compromise in safety.
Thank you, Dato'. That's a good one. So I'll pass to Captain Farhan. Captain Farhan. So looking at our main topic for today, which is the black box. Okay. So how do you foresee the role of black boxes evolving in the future, especially with advancements in digital technology? What changes or improvements do you anticipate?
Okay, in order to answer that question, first we need to understand what is a black box, okay? Black box, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong atau apa-apa kurang. So black box consists of two parts, right? First is the FDR, flight data recorder. Flight data recorder basically records most parameters on the aircraft, from the height, the speed, acceleration, flight levels, landing gear position, all of the switches on the overhead panel, and as well as the engine parameters. The list is not exhaustive, banyak lagi benda lain. There's a FDR, flight data recorder. The second part of the black box is the CVR, cockpit voice recorder. Now, cockpit voice recorder records all conversation between pilot and co-pilot, pilot to the cabin crew, pilots to the air traffic control, and as well as any ambient environmental sound in the cockpit. Contoh bunyi engine ke, master warning, master cautions, right? Caution alarms pun is recorded. So these two things combines becomes the black box. And in any incidents or accidents, investigators, the first thing they akan cari is the black box, because that's where all the data is located. So as you can, as you might be aware, it's very important lah, black box ni. So there are some technological advancements made on the black box. As of now, it's only flight data recorder and CVR, cockpit voice recorder. But in the future, the technology is already here, but it's just not implemented yet. There will also be a video feed of the cockpit. Cuma this thing is not implemented because there's a lot of backlash from the pilot side lah, because it infringes on privacy. Kan, you recorded kan? So a lot of pilots, they argue against it, tak nak, because privacy reason, and they also state that the black box as it is now cukup, is enough information to come up with a conclusion in case of any accident or incident. Alright. But the investigation punya side pula, they argue balik, they kata when it comes to data, there is no such thing as enough. The more, the better. So now we have two sides pushing against each other. So who knows lah in the future who will win, right? So that's one thing. Another technological advancements on the black box is After the video feed, there will also be live streaming, meaning live stream the video straight to the CMC, maintenance control, or the airlines management side lah. But it's not implemented yet. The technology is available but not implemented yet. Again, it comes to the issue of PDPA, Personal Data Protection Act. So we'll see how it goes. For me, myself, I don't mind lah. Okay, but there will be a lot of pilots, they would mind. And especially those yang ada the scandal ke apa kan. Nanti cabin crew masuk, like that, nampak mesra-mesra, recorded.
We're not going there. We're not going there.
One of the examples. I'm just joking, but I mean, there's a few examples, you know, why the pilots would not prefer to have video feed like that. Okay, does that answer the question?
Oh, okay. That was nice actually. I didn't get to know all of the stuff until you told me, because I always like search in Google what is like black box. So, you know, because of the tragedies in all of the stuff, so I just came to know now. So, thank you.
That's only a little bit je, banyak lagi.
Oh, banyak lagi. Nak ke pilot tu agak susah sikit lah untuk saya, tak apa. Sampai sini je. Okay. So, Mr. Sabri. Okay. So, okay, Mr. Sabri, what is the typical recording duration of a black box? And how does this impact its usefulness in accident investigations?
Okay, typical CVR records 2 hours last conversation, and FDR about 25 hours of the 25 hours flight data recording lah. Okay. And
and how does this impact its usefulness in accident investigations?
Okay. The use after incident, okay. Okay, usually the maintenance side, we use FDR or CVR, and I can add more. We have also QAR, Quick Access Recorder, okay, but not many aircraft or airline that use this. Some, like Airbus, we use QAR, like ATR, we use FDIMU, okay. So it's like a PCMCIA, it's like a memory card, okay? Okay, because FDR, it's difficult to retrieve because it requires man hours, 1 hour, 2 hours, okay? We have to wait for the aircraft, then the engineers to retrieve the data to download from the FDR. We have to take maintenance step. So we can use Quick Access Recorder, okay? QAR. So let's say last night, a trainee pilot follows this flight instructor dari Subang, from Subang, lands in Subang, okay? Ada hard landing, okay? Pakai A320, boom. That load report keluar, load 50 from the printer because it's automatic, okay? It detects hard landing, so okay. Pilots saw the okay, so load 15 keluar. So trainee ni dah buat hard landing. So macam mana pun they have to report to the engineers, okay? So engineers have to use the data. We retrieve, we read the report, okay. So apa yang buat dia hard landing? So maybe weather, maybe because of trainee punya skill belum cukup power mungkin. So as engineer, we go to the QAR, Quick Access Recorder, we retrieve the memory card, okay? So we don't have to go to the FDR. We can go to the FDR, but FDR is more detailed on the engine parameter, on the flight control, movement. But for the Quick Access Recorder, it's macam express lah, boleh dapat laju terus, boleh dapat terus hantar pergi maintenance site, boleh tengok, okay, the landing macam mana. So we have to inspect the landing gear, we have to inspect the structure, we have to segala-galanya kita inspect, okay. So after inspection, if all good, no cracks, no damage on the structure, so engineer can sign off the aircraft, then release the aircraft for service. So I think that's the use for the FDR or CVR or the quick access recorder for investigation.
Korang faham ke? Faham kan? Are you guys awake? Okay, faham? Okay. So, going back to Dr. Sri. Okay. So, human error is a significant factor in aviation safety incidents. So, can you discuss on how human error plays a role in aviation incidents and what measures can be taken to mitigate it?
I see. You must understand. When there is any accident, we have to follow Annex 13. Why Annex 13? I don't know. Annex 13 is, some people say Annex 13. No. Annex 13, accident investigation. Accident investigation must be carried out by the authority of the occurrence state. Where it happens, that particular state must investigate. And the investigation as per Annex 13 is not to apportion blame. It's not to apportion blame. It's just to know the cause of the accident. What is the cause of the accident? And what are the remedies, or what are the safety features, what are the safety recommendation to be carried out by everybody involved related to the accident, so that the similar accident will not happen again, inshallah. That is one. So, accident investigation is a very thorough investigation. The black box that they able to hear what happens in the cockpit in the last minute or last second of the accident. I've listened to many CBRs. I don't think you would like to hear. I don't think you'd like to hear. Sedih, tragic, and some of them you know who they are. Your friends. The flight data recorder give you as what Captain FARHAN was saying, that it give you the what happens to the system. What is the system? How fast the aircraft go? How high the aircraft go? What is the system of the engine and the all the other system behave? So from there they can relate what happened. So if you say that it's a human error, then you got to do what do you call this? You got to be have the law of the justice. Why this guy does this thing? Okay, example lah, very good example. I want to go. This is very technical, not that technical. A very famous area in Australia where the aircraft is on ground, because there are many insects, especially during summer. The insects will go into the pitot hole. Pitot hole is the instrument that will measure your airspeed. Speed because the hole static, there is static, the other pitot. So these insects will go there. So to avoid the insect to go into this orifice, they call it. So they are the cap to block the holes. And before takeoff, the mechanic, the engineer, whoever it is responsible, must remove the thing. The captain who do the final walk around before he board the aircraft and fly off, he also must make sure that all this is removed. But there are instances, there are instances, but the famous of Malaysia lah. Kalau Malaysia buat, mesti Australia buat, diam. It's true. It happens to many airlines, and they did not remove the coverage. So why? Is it due to training? Is it due to laziness? Is it due to tidak apa attitude, or is it due to the cap tu dia ada lanyard remove before flight? You dapat dah selalu keychain to remove before flight. That's what it is. So why it happens? Why it happens that way? So that's and sometimes it happens nighttime. Maybe you have reason I cannot see nighttime. But not only one person see, no. Few people go around and make sure that the thing is removed. So to me, to have a human, yes, if you look at the historical accident reports for the past 10 years, it's more of human error that causes accident rather than technology, because technology has been very mature, reliable, more reliable. So if you say that human error causes accident, I don't really agree because we all work, study hard again. It happens. So we must understand why that guy made that mistake. So
of course.
you have, when you do accident investigation and you involve in many accident investigation, you look at every angle. Sometimes you know that this guy did the mistake, but then why he did the mistake? And then one of the accident, we found out that he not well and he took medication. And medication made him sleepy. Why then he take medication? Because he wants to fly. But the doctor advised him not to take one before you fly. So it's a series of things. So you have to be very sure when you put in writing cause of accident is human error.
All right. Thank you, Dato'. So next question I will ask to Captain Farhan. Can you personally share a particularly challenging situation you've faced in the cockpit and how you managed to overcome it?
Yeah, okay. Challenging punya ni
Challenging, yes.
Yeah. Alright. Yeah, itulah.
Pilot saya ada kat sini kan. Of course I don't want to know.
Before Datuk ada beritahu lah dekat Adil dengan susah. Tapi lagi susah dia soalan.
Tak.
But anyways, yeah. There was this one time where I'm flying from Johor to Subang. Okay. And there was a defect on the ATPCS. So dispatch without the yeah, exactly, the auto flight base. So we dispatch without the ATPCS. So to those yang tak tahu, ATPCS ni is basically automatic system on the ATR where if the engine fail, it will automatically feather the propeller on the failed engine, right? So that thing unserviceable. But so we went through the manuals and the checklist, and then it states that we can go, but there are some limitations. So on that ATPCS, Sabri, the limitation is the rotation speed must be increased by about 50 to 20 knots. So on the ATR, the normal rotation speed will be about 100, 110 macam tu. Alright. So when that I accepted the aircraft, right? Then when we took off from JB to Subang, the rotation rate from usually 110, it went up to 130. Alright, so it's 20 knots to in aviation is quite a lot of difference. When we pass 110 knots, going to 130, the nose wheel start to vibrate quite on the runway. Not normal lah. But since we already have passed our decision speed, we cannot reject the takeoff anymore. Okay, because if we reject the takeoff at this after the decision speed, what will happen, guys? What will happen?
Apa?
Overrun the runway. Exactly. Boleh.
Dah pas dah.
You will overrun the runway. So we cannot stop the aircraft anymore. Whatever happens beyond that point, continue the takeoff. Right. So at the time, the vibration on nose wheel was really strong, really abnormal lah. Tapi we cannot reject anymore. Continue. The moment kita rotate behind our ASCS panel tu, one of the cable jatuh. I think it's because of the vibration tu, so it loosen dia punya connection tu. The rotate tu, jatuh. Bear in mind, I fly malam tau, flying at night. So my instrument panel depan my side and the co-pilot side semua haywire, not blank, dia haywire. The heading bar tu pusing. The apa ni CDI, course deviation pun pusing sini, pusing sana kan. My FD bar pun haywire. So basically, I'm flying blind, except for the standby instrument. But if I fly ATR 500, so the instrument is really basic and small. And the lighting pun sendu-sendu, you know, macam nak tak nak lampu gitu kan. So it's really hard to fly using the standby instruments, especially at night time. Because if during the daytime, at least you have visual reference, you can see where you're going. But night time, you don't see anything. Gelap.
Pitch black.
Pitch black, exactly. You only see like lightings on the roads, on the house. But basically, the land and the sea is just the same color. You tak nampak apa-apa. Right? So at the time, I'm flying half blind. I'm just using the standby instrumentation. So my aircraft is going left, right, up and down. But still manageable. But people at the back know that something is not right, because you're supposed to just fly straight. But because the difficulty of the situation too is quite hard to fly. And then you can imagine the stress factor at the time from normal to shoot up. Jadi really stressed, because at the time I'm thinking, oh shit, how do I want to come back? Because Johor is using ILS system. ILS is instrumentation landing, right? I don't have that instrument anymore. And I cannot come in for visual approach because it's night time. So at that time, I want to go back to Subang pun same thing. So I'm stuck. At that time, my first thought, I'm stuck in the sky. I don't know, I have no idea how to come back. And whatever it is, in aviation, guys, it's always the golden rule is aviate, navigate, communicate, right? So whatever it is, fly first, right? Bagus LSU punya pilot semua. Come join Firefly.
Boleh PM tu dengan kita FARHAN. Boleh.
Right, so aviate, just fly the aircraft first, right? Fly the aircraft, make sure you know where you're going, make sure you are not flying into any mountains or any buildings. That's the first thing, most important one, right? Once you are clear of all these obstructions, now you have some time to think, okay, what's going on and what can we do, right? So after that, nak engage autopilot pun tak boleh, because totally lost. Then I discussed with my co-pilot, right? We declared not an emergency, but pen urgency, right? We declared urgency, saying that we lost our instrumentations at night. Then we went through checklist. There's no checklist covering this, because there's no checklist to cover cable jatuh. I think this is very unlikely this scenario, and at takeoff during the most critical phase of the flight, right? But anyways, once we are clear of the terrain, I discussed dengan my co-pilot, see what are the things that we can do. We start to observe, look at the circuit breaker, blah 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 blah. And then we realize the co-pilot side, his instrumentation is not as severely rosak as mine. He still has some data which is available. So he realized that I tak perasan. He realized. So thank God at the time point, my co-pilot is quite experienced co-pilot. So he assists me a lot. He says that, okay, he still has some of the data. And with that data, we can come back to Johor Bahru for landing with the bare minimum equipment. So we came back to land. Then after landing, it was uneventful. But the thing is, as a pilot, guys, the most important thing is you need to be able to stay calm under stressful situations, because at any time a normal flight can escalate to become a stressful, high workload environment. So you need to come up with a decision where the best decision that you can make at the time, right? Because we don't want to come up with a decision that makes the situation deteriorate, becomes even worse. Kan? At least make the situation better or even more better than that. Tak nak lagi teruk, right? So yeah, we come back to learn. Then we delve into the CMC, maintenance control. Then dia kata apa ni, that cable ni diorang kena come to install balik. I tak boleh ambil screw pergi belakang, do it myself. Tak boleh lah. But we grounded the aircraft. Then the next day tu baru the CMC guys datang. Then it's the quick fix. Masuk, tighten, then jalan. So as you can see, one small thing can lead to another. Like what Datuk also said. Any accidents or incidents, the most obvious reason may not be the root cause. You must always find out why. There are several levels. It's like a Swiss cheese. Several levels of, you need to ask several levels of whys to come up with the root cause of the incident, then rectify from there. Okay.
That is quite challenging.
Yeah.
Wow.
One of the few lah.
One of the few. So good luck to the future pilots out there, because I wanted to be one like Captain Farhan. So
you guys can ask for it.
Well, yeah, I asked. I asked. So it's my fault. It's okay. Okay. So, Dato' Sri, can I ask about the tragedy MH370? Is that fine? Okay. So there will be just a small question, just one question. So, what were some of the challenges faced during the investigation of MH370 and MH17?
I don't agree with you to say that it's crash on MH370. 370, as officially reported, it's lost. It's missing. It's unprecedented of such an aircraft gone missing. Why it gone missing? Because it's not traceable by the radars in the air on the 8th of March 2014. So the aircraft take off on time, about 12:42 from KLIA on destination Beijing. And how the aircraft fly now is by airways from one waypoint to another waypoint. It will go to a few countries. The next country after Malaysia will be Vietnam. After it take off from KLIA, our ATC have already contacted Ho Chi Minh City ATC to say that the aircraft will come on time, expected to report to you in about 1:22 in the morning. That aircraft flies uneventful 5 minutes before crossing the border at the waypoint Igari. Still remember the names and the time, how affected 10 years ago. 5 minutes before it crossed the border at the waypoint Igari, our air traffic controller have called up the pilots, the crew, to say that switch frequency Ho Chi Minh City, report to Ho Chi Minh City. And the reply was, good night, Malaysia 370. That was the last word from the pilot to the ground. So our pilot released the aircraft, expected it will be picked up by Ho Chi Minh City. 14 minutes later, Ho Chi Minh City called up, hey, say, where's the aircraft? They said, what aircraft? MH370. Aircraft already reported, we already instructed the pilot to change frequency and supposed to report to you 40 minutes ago. Said no. And a lot of things happen.
I guess we can go any more further. I guess we can stop there.
But I wrote a book. About MH370. I have the sample the book here, but this is not for sale. This is my book.
Promote.
The last flight of Malaysia Airlines, MH370 and MH17. In MH17, because I'm the one who part of the team to transport the black boxes. Actually, the orange in color, don't look black, orange in color, with luminous stripe across it. We get detail of what we do to the black boxes, CVR and FDR. What is all entails. It has, this is the English version. The Malay version is penerbangan terakhir MH370, MH17.
Wow.
We have this one you still can get from Kuniya. I think both books Kalau ada lagi lah, still stock. But if you never stock, you can get it from apa tu? Online apa?
Oh,
Shopee.
Shopee. Shopee for this one.
It gave my experience of MH370. So we lost the aircraft in the morning. A lot of speculation goes on. There are speculation that I dedicated one chapter on speculation. Why I don't agree with the speculation? Because we found the debris, the flaperon that we found in Lyonian Island in Madagascar was a flaperon from MH370. The flaps we found in Tanzania was the flap from MH370. And there are 3 items debris that confirmed to be MH370. So it must be from the sea. So it's in the sea somewhere, southern of Indian Ocean. We searched for it. We went through almost 2 years of search, unable to find anything, just debris. Why the debris only found in the continent of Africa, not Australia? Because the drift pattern of Indian Ocean drift from the east to the west. So they call it the biggest rubbish dump in the world, where all the rubbish dump will drift to Mauritius, Madagascar, African continent. We found a few debris in South Africa, continent of Africa. No human parts, no nothing except aircraft parts. So if you read the report, of the investigation, the last word, it says that due to the inability to locate the wreckage of the aircraft, it cannot be determined why the aircraft turned back. Nobody knows why the aircraft turned back. Yes, we try to get the black box, but the black box, hopefully, the flight data recorder can tell us something, because as what Sabri is saying, we record the last 25 hours. The last 25 hours includes takeoff from KLIA and turns back and dish into the water. But the complete voice recorder will not help to us because it recorded the last 2 hours. It's the cycle, the last 2 hours only. The rest of the conversation of the recording will be auto delete. So auto delete. So the last 2 hours is, by that time, I think everybody must have overslept. I should not use the word. I think hypoxia. So only the pilot left. So the signal, see this aircraft, they send signals. Every aircraft that you fly on passenger aircraft, they relay messages back to the ground, to the engineering to be analyzed. The system called ACARS, ACARS, Aircraft Communication and Reporting System. It download at that time. It download every half an hour. It download through a satellite, and MES use satellite that belongs to Imasat. And then it download to. The first download, half an hour of takeoff, yes, it download. The second, that's when we went through the downloading sequence, doesn't download anymore. But the satellite is smart. The satellite is like AI. I want to know where you are. Why don't you report to us? So, aircraft say, I'm here. The reply, I'm here. Just like you having your handphone. When you switch off your handphone is still communicating with your telco. That's why when you switch on back again your handphone, you will see a lot of missed messages, a lot of missed calls and all these things. So same like this particular system. So they observe there are 6 times when the satellite asks the ACARS system, where are you, why are you not reporting? I'm here. But I'm here is not telling the people who analyze the situation of where the aircraft is. They're telling, I'm here just this time. I'm here. This time I'm here. So the smart fellas all I met the people from Emerson in London. I think they have 2 PhD or 3 PhD. They analyze the whole thing and they say that yes, this aircraft reply to the satellite message only to tell them the time. Then they reanalyze and they found out that it's true. So they call it the 6th handshake. Now the 7th handshake. So they have an arc of when it happens. This very mathematically done. It's the first time that you are searching for a missing aircraft using a communication satellite, not a detection satellite. There's 2 different satellites. One is the satellite that detects you. And a lot of people say, oh, America must have detected your thing. America must have known where the aircraft is. If you see the number of aircraft flying in the world 24 hours, there are thousands of aircraft flying. So if you want to detect, they must specifically detect. I don't think they get every aircraft. So that's the story. From there, the experts analyzed when they found the flaperon in La Union Island belonged to the French authority. They do the back drift where is the flaperon started to appear on the surface of the sea. That's where they look for the wreckage. So we have not able to look for wreckage. We don't know what happened. It's unprecedented. Yes, the aircraft. Yes, they say that so big aircraft you cannot find. Yes, you must remember. No, the Indian Ocean is huge. Yes, the aircraft that you put on the football field, the end to the nose is from the penalty spot to the penalty spot. The width of the wing is as wide as a football field. But you know how big the Indian Ocean is? Huge. It's only a speck of very tiny fish. So that's all I can say about MH370. Good experience for me. That's why I was asked to write something about it, how we went through, what we went through, the emotions of it. Yes, we are very emotional then. So we have already across 10-year anniversary. MH17, 17 July, the 17 July, in 2 months' time will be the 10-year anniversary. That one is straightforward. It's been hit by a missile, but we don't know who shoot the missile. Yes, the court case has already over. Accused of 3 Russian and 1 Ukrainian. They did not appear in court, so they've been charged, and they've been charged under absentia. This is legal punya jargon. So justice, at least justice has been done, and there are closure to it. MH370, there's no closure to it. Okay, that's all I can say to any question?
No, that's it. Are you okay, Dato'?
One question from there.
Huh? So that was actually a tragic incident that just happened. Like literally few years ago. 10 years ago. 10 years ago. Sorry. 10 years ago. I was quite emotional while you were explaining. So I really have nothing to say. So yeah, it's very emotional, a tragic one for us, of course. So yes.
It's very emotional even when things happen, when accidents happen, the airline have to take care of the next of kin. These people, the Go team are trained counselors, and we engage counselors as provided by the Ministry of Health. First day, yes, you tell them things, this. second day, third day, first week, second week, third week, same story again. Until such time, some of the counselors have to be counseled. Because you are so attached to the next of kin. You are telling every day you meet, you tell them. Every day you tell them the same story. You can become insane, you know. So that's the emotional, the other part of Mr. So we understand how the next of kin is very difficult for them. Yes. So this is something. And the case have made known to IKO, and IKO come up with a special chapter on taking care of next of kin of accident in case this type of thing happens. They learn from us. I went there to brief them what we did, and they come up with so it became a case study.
Right. Thank you, Dato. Maybe Mr. Sabri will add, or no? No. Okay. So just to wrap up the seminar, I would just like to ask just one more question for our three panels. So Dato, Captain, and Mr. Sabri. So this is like the common stereotype that people has on certain courses like airline services. They are meant to be cabin crew, flight ops to be pilot, and aviation management to be airport check-in counter helpers. What is your take on this common misconception that people has on this type of jobs? Can they pursue further? So maybe you guys can take turns, or maybe Captain Farhan?
Yeah.
So like basically, I'm taking Bachelor in Airline Services Management. So most of the people would think that maybe I could become a cabin crew one day, which is not actually. So since airline services management is like a wide industry, so there's like a lot of field. So people would think that, oh, maybe airline service management, oh, you're going to become a cabin crew, is it? So that is the most common stereotype that we're facing right now. Yeah. So that's like the misconceptions. The people nowadays.
Okay. Right. I understand the question. I cannot speak for other airlines, but for mine, I'm with Malaysia Airlines Group. They do have programs where even if you are in other departments, let's say that you will be at the ground handling nanti in the future, kan, insyaAllah. Right. There are upskilling programs, right, where they will open up service notices. They can open, okay, we have openings in other departments, contoh marketing, cabin crew, or even pilots, right? As long as you meet the criteria, right, you may apply. So the misconception is not that long actually. Betul juga. In Malaysia Airlines, there's one lady pilot. Her name is Munira, right? She was a cabin crew before she became a pilot. And even one of my co-pilots, one of my cabin crew in Firefly, nama dia Sam. Before he became a cabin crew, he was a ground handler. Ground check-in officer. So he applied, first time fail, second time fail, third time dia dapat jadi cabin crew. So as you say, the aviation industry is a wide big industry, but it doesn't mean that if you are cabin crew, you start in cabin crew saja. It doesn't mean if you are in ground operation, you start ground operation saja. There are ways now. I mean, now the airlines are trying to focus more on the people aspect. So try to upskill. They realize that people have a lot of untapped potential. So boleh, mana tahu maybe one day after the seminar you minat jadi engineer ke, minat jadi pilot ke, there are pathways that you can go.
Inshallah.
Yeah.
Mr. Sabri?
Okay, I'm from AYSHA. So AYSHA is a very open company. So siapa pernah tengok Red Queue? Have anyone seen Red Q, our headquarters? Red Q. So it's a very open space, okay? So we have slides, we have cabin crew department, we have pilot department, we have engineering department. So we can meet everyone on a common space, okay? So, macam Google Office. So in Asia, so it's not end of the world, because if you are cabin crew, you will be cabin crew until the end of the day. You jadi engineer, you jadi pilot, because in Asia you pilot, but you can work in a different department, like Captain JFK. Kenal Captain JFK? Kenal. Dia celebrity kan, so dia bila dia bukan dia punya duty, dia jadi DJ. Dalam Asia sendiri dia jadi customer experience, okay? So like engineer, some of them jadi macam-macam department lah. Diorang boleh jadi pergi creative department, boleh pergi santan, macam santan ni macam F&B lah, macam kalau MS dulu ada MS catering, RAHIM semua kan. So banyak juga macam pilot, ada cadet pilot punya program, so ada engineer, dari engineer jadi turun balik jadi cadet, dan last jadi captain. From cabin crew jadi last jadi captain. Ram handler ada yang jadi engineer sekarang. Store officer jadi engineer, ada ram handler jadi captain, ada ram jadi cabin crew semua. So apa yang macam korang belajar, apa, airline management. Siapa yang ambil airline management? Airline service management. Okay. So tak semestinya korang tu jadi apa-apa yang ni, cabin crew ke, guest service officer ke. Tak, ada yang pergi logistik. Because management, ada pergi logistik. Ada yang pergi flight ops, jaga crewing, roster for the pilots. Ada yang jadi planning, go to the engineering department, plan ahead for the maintenance, for the fleet management, for the preventive maintenance. Okay. Ada yang jadi grooming for cabin crew. Okay. So airline industry, aviation industry ni besar lah. Ada yang pergi security semua. Okay. Ada yang bukan jadi security lah, tapi security department. Okay. Security department ni luas tau. Okay. Not from gate to the aircraft. Okay. Not from the aircraft, tapi from the logistic side, okay, import export, X-ray, itu semua security, management juga, okay. Macam mana kita nak buat airline tu lagi economical, okay, okay, like ATR, we don't have the cockpit surveillance system, okay, but in Airbus 320 we have the cockpit surveillance system. It's like camera, okay? From the cockpit, we can, siapa yang nak masuk cockpit, kita boleh tengok lah. Okay, stewardess nak masuk ke, engineer masuk ke, apa-apalah. But it's not, kalau kita faham economics of the aviation, kalau kita baca IKO semua, it's not mandatory to install a camera, to install monitor in the cockpit, okay? So like Batik Air CEO, dia cakap okay, benda tu bukannya mandatory. Kita cuma peephole tu yang paling mandatory, okay? Peephole dekat cockpit door tu. Benda tu dah cukup untuk pilot tengok kat luar siapa yang nak masuk aircraft, okay? So kalau kita faham ekonomi, kalau kita faham weight of aircraft, kita nak, we want to make the aircraft more lighter, okay? So ATR or some of the airline doesn't install the camera, doesn't install the monitor. Okay, so saya dah macam melalut banyak dari ekonomi.
It's okay, it's okay.
So saya nak cerita yang aviation ni besar lah. Okay, akan start. Ada yang pilot, from pilot ada yang jadi, sebelum jadi pilot tu, okay, macam Asia, not many slots, 2022, 2023, tak banyak slot tau untuk training masuk, training masuk, apa kita panggil line flying semua tu. So yang cadet pilot yang nak jadi 1 bar 2 bar ni semua, diorang kena jadi turnaround coordinator. So diorang kena turun bawah, diorang kena jaga baggage, diorang kena jaga cargo, diorang kena jaga security, semua kena turn around. In Asia they only have 25 minutes turn around, so diorang kena jadi coordinator untuk jaga coordination of the transit tu lah. Okay, so that's all for me. Thank you, bye.
Thank you. So yes, Dato'.
Memanglah, it's true lah. If you see the airline advertisement, they will show the pilots, they will show the cabin crew, kebayas, tight red skirts and all these things. But aviation, that's why I show you the ecosystem of aviation internationally and in Malaysia. And if you look at the names of the company, sometimes I also have not heard of them. Back to black box. Do you know that the black box is made in Penang? Yes, you know lah. The black box is made in Penang. Honeywell. So airport itself alone requires a lot of expertise. Runway design, runway engineer. You're talking about air traffic controllers. You're talking about the authority, investigators. You're talking about even as what Sabri was saying, even sales. You people who knows aircraft, who know aviation, they can sell better because they know these seats that if they fly, nobody buys the ticket. It will just fly as a seat, so you have to fill up the seat. Because once the aircraft fly with empty seat, you won't get any more money from that. So that's why some airlines are very clever in attracting the people. The passenger that going to fly your aircraft, you can only you cannot force them to fly the aircraft. You cannot demand them to fly aircraft, but you can encourage them. You can lure them to fly your aircraft. How you create your business situation. So this you need people with selling skill, business skill. At the same time, aviation punya subject. You must know aircraft too, because aircraft, yes, you see a lot of money coming in. On this morning, ITA, International Air Travel Association, reported that this year, airline will make the most money in the history of aviation. Second line, you will see the highest expenditure by airline is made also this year. So you see millions coming in, you see millions going out also. So you need, yes, you read reports that we lack of skilled manpower in aviation, pilots, even engineers. But you have other areas that you can come in. And as what Sabri is saying, Asia they open up opportunities to the staff. If you are good, you are good. If you want to be a pilot, say you want to be a pilot. Then they test you, they make sure that you're really good, you're really interested and have all the background, and you'll be a pilot. Cabin crew to become pilot, quite common, cabin crew. But pilot to become cabin crew, susah sikit lah. Because they need lawa sikit kan, they need handsome sikit kan. So, no, I'm just joking. So every news is, that's why when I visited, when I was listening to UC, I hope the university have matching of what their graduates will go through. Because if you train aviation management school, doesn't mean that you go out of the university, graduate, become managers in aviation, in airport, in airlines straight away. You have to go from the bottom to go up. And it's not only airlines that available for your expertise. It's also the authority, also the airport, also the MROs, also the manufacturers. All requires your skill. What you learn from university is very important, very valuable, but do not restrict. Kandin kan, reading. Do not restrict your career path to airline. Lagi banyak besar. I see that some of you have taken pictures of what I showed. I'm quite lenient today, quite helpful today. I could give a copy to all of you.
Yes.
Bayar.
Wow.
Buku ni you beli lah. This one is 38 ringgit because it's a local produce. The English one is a bit expensive because it's translation is been published by scientific publisher in Singapore. It costs 200 ringgit. Hard copy. Hardcover, sorry. This one was 60 over ringgit. Okay, thank you.
Right, thank you, Dato. So yeah, basically not everyone could, I mean, if you hear airline services management, not everyone could be a cabin crew, right? So basically you guys can be like a check-in counter or in flight services. So maybe there is a lot of variety of departments that you guys could actually explore in the aviation industry, right? So thank you so much for your insightful contributions. So since we're done with our talk, so let's proceed with our Q&A session. Yeah, there's a Q&A session, yes, sir.
Okay, come down. Okay. Boleh sampai? Tak boleh sampai tak? Sampai tak apa. Di depan ni. Okay, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and good afternoon, Dato' Sri and tuan-tuan. Okay, I introduce myself first. I'm a lieutenant technologist, one of Hasliza RMN retired. So I'm a lecturer here in the field of aviation. Okay, I have two questions. One is I think relevant to Dato' Sri, and another one might be for Captain Farhan. For Dato' Sri, with regard to CAM, up to what level is the involvement of CAM when it comes to incident or accident investigations regarding state-registered aircraft? That is the question. That is my first question. Second question, yeah. My second question to Captain Farhan. What about career prospect for the navigators, tactical coordinators, and weapon systems officers in the armed forces after they finish, after they end their career in the military? Because you know those guys, they are not piloting the aircraft per se, but they perform many co-pilot functions, mainly communications, weapons, sensor systems. Basically, they are doing all the pilot's work minus one thing, piloting the aircraft. So, how's the career prospect for them? Can they become at minimum ground instructor after their military career? Thank you.
Okay, for those who doesn't know state aircraft is aircraft that belongs to the military, the police, and the customs. In IQO definition. In our law, in our Aviation Civil Aviation Act, there's no such thing as state aircraft. They have civil aircraft, military aircraft. There's no state aircraft, especially state aircraft. CAM does not involve in the accident investigation of state aircraft, military aircraft, because that one is under the purview of military, the preview and the call sign also is M something.
Yes,
Whereas civil aviation, civil aircraft, the registration start from 9M, NBA, DAG, whatever. So the CM does not get involved in any serious incident and accident investigation. For civil aircraft, the investigation are being done by an agency under Ministry of Transport called BSKU, BSKU, Bureau Siasatan Kemalangan Udara, Air Accident Investigation Bureau. So it comes under Ministry of Transport, report direct to the minister. So CM does not use CM DCA. My time we used to do accident investigation, but it was marked as no by IKO because we are not independent enough to conduct investigation. Investigation of accident shall be an agency independent of the authority. The report direct to the minister. And in the law, it says that only the minister can come up with a statement on the report of the accident report.
But does it mean that CAM cannot render assistance when it comes to, let's say, when they request for support?
Normally, render assistance, yes. But do you know that when accident happened, the CAM also has been investigated? Because let's say the aircraft now been declared as airworthy. CM issued certificate of airworthiness, but the investigation found out that the aircraft does not airworthy. So they will question CM. I hope not lah. They will question CM why you allow this aircraft to fly. Remember the Bluebird, the aircraft that crashed in Semenyih? It was reported that the manufacturer had come up with a directive not to fly the aircraft. The question then we asked to CM why you allow such aircraft to fly, and CM jawab because we are not the authority of the aircraft because the aircraft is under foreign register. We did not get that notification to say that the aircraft. So the reason why CM does not do investigation because CM also will be investigated.
Okay. What I mean is, let's say the military authority or the state registered aircraft authority ask for assistance from CAM. Will CAM give support?
Yes, I think we'll give support. Depends on what kind of support because the CM staff does not have rating on the military aircraft, and the military aircraft fly in a different environment. They are flying on a mission, whereas the civil aircraft fly on either scheduled or non-scheduled flight. So there's two different, and the military aircraft, the airworthiness of it is controlled by the DGTA. Directorate DGTA. So these are the people. I don't want to comment too much on military aircraft because not the. But actually, I should not comment anything. I'm really tired, you know. Really to the professionalism of we have to respect what they do.
Okay.
Respect each other is very important. So I respect them.
Thank you.
Yeah, Assalamualaikum. So I believe your question is kalau a person has military background, how's their prospect to join the commercial aviation side?
Yes.
Piloting to be
not really on piloting, but with regard to pilots, it's much straightforward because there are clause in CAD directive that allow the conversion from military pilot to civilian pilot. But what I mean is for those navigators, tactical coordinators, WIZOs, what about their career prospect? Because they are not piloting the aircraft, but they can perform they can perform almost all of the pilot work.
Yeah. Okay, so okay, I understand the question. Would you like me to start with the good news or the bad news first? Okay, so I'll start with the good one. Yeah? The good news is airlines love people with military background. Dia suka. Kan? So if you have background in military, in weapons ke, security, risk management, or in fact kalau you're a pilot ke, you already have an added advantage to join the airlines in whatever department lah yang you feel interested to join. But the bad news is, if you want to come in as a pilot, like you say, that is straightforward. To come in as a pilot in commercial, you need license. Kan? Doesn't matter you know A to Z about the aircraft, you know how to fly, but without license, tak boleh. You still have to have the license. So that's pretty straightforward, straight cut. But like you said, you can convert, right? If you have a piloting license in military, you can convert to commercial license, right? Minus the instrument rating. So let's say that if you're a captain in Air Force, you need to come in via commercial with instrument rating. Kalau tak ada, you need to fly as a co-pilot first, get the accumulated hours, get the rating, then you go for command. Right. I do have a lot of my co-pilots who are older than me, more senior than me. I'm about 33. I have few co-pilots from the Air Force. Some flying the C-130, some flying the fighter jets, semua kan. They came in as a co-pilot, right? And then once they get the required hours, then they can apply for commandership if there's slot available, right? But to answer again to your question, if you have military background in whatever department, you have an added advantage compared to people who don't have that, right? Because like I say again, commercial airlines, they love people with military experience. Okay.
Yang tuan maksudkan tadi tu, pilot. Tapi I mean yang the co-pilots yang backseat function tu. Mana mereka ni? Adakah mereka boleh jadi ground instructor sekurang-kurangnya? Sebab mereka ni tak piloting. Mereka ni tak pilot aircraft.
Ground instructors, I understand question pasal navigator semua tu kan. But nak jadi ground instructor pun in the commercial punya airlines, we don't have requirement for navigators ke apa. But they can masuk from other departments lah. Maybe for risk management ke, masuk for security, FSEC ke. But for flying wise, instructors memang they already have flight instructors like myself lah, flight instructor. Because the main thing is like Datuk also say, commercial aviation is highly regulated. You whatever it is, you can have the licenses. You need to have the qualifications. You can say that you have so and so experience, but without the proper qualification, tak boleh. Okay.
Because I highlight this issue because one of my brother officer, I call brother officer lah. He's a qualified tactical coordinator with Superlinks. Dia boleh buat mission planning semua, memang dia boleh buat, cuma dia tak fly. Dan now dia nak venture keluar pun dia macam staff. Dia nak fly, dia tak pergi fly. Tapi dia boleh buat kerja co-pilot. Mission planning semua dia boleh buat.
So what I can suggest to that is since he already has the experience, they can go to join the flying school. The process will be much easier for him because dia dah tahu the basics of flight planning, meteorology, and air laws, principle of flight, so and so forth. So that's the way to go lah kalau dia betul-betul nak.
Sama because dia pun dah qualified, he's a qualified TECO instructor and also TECO examiner. Dia boleh certify the new TECO umpama pilot lah.
Faham? But like I say again lah, you need to have the license. Kan, doesn't matter you betapa power you pun without the license, tak boleh.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. First, I got a question. First of it is, like as you can see now, there are a lot of ATOs and a lot of airlines are taking cadets, and their requirements to take a CPL is to have a diploma in aviation management and CPL, and a lot of ATOs are applying that in their training as well. So So it's extend their flight training to 3 years, I think. So with that being said, is it in future, is the pilot for pilots, is the qualification to become pilot going to be higher? Do they need academic qualification or they just licensing? Because back in the day, pilot after SPM, they just become go flying school and get license. But now you need diploma or then degree, if degree is an option. So that's the first one. Is the future of qualification in hiring future pilots going to be higher and higher? And secondly is what is the difference between MPL and CPL? Because I know MPL since 2006, the ICO has implemented MPL to be used as a parallel pathway as a CPL. And then what is it going to be the future of pilot licensing? Because as you know, the traditional way of like become a pilot is SPL, PPL, CPL, HPL, and so on. There's a lot of license. So with MPL, just do MPL and get optional HPL, and you become a pilot for the airlines. Is it better for the airlines, or is it the future of pilot qualification and licensing? So thank you.
Okay, thank you for your question. First of all, regarding the academic, yes, during my time, as long as you have you meet the minimum requirement for your SPM, 5 credits, you can apply straight away for flying school. But as you stated as well, now they have an extra requirement, which is you need to have a diploma or degree. As far as I am aware, it is not a must to have a diploma. It's just an added advantage. Okay, same goes with degree, added advantage. I believe the reason why they are doing this is because there is a surplus of supply of pilots versus the demand. So they need an extra criteria to filter these prospects lah. You guys lah kan. You guys join MSU ni comes with a diploma?
Our course.
Your course, right?
Bachelor in Aviation Management.
Right, so you have that extra lah kan. So that's good, you have extra. And this requirement not just for pilot as well, even cabin crew pun, macam SQ pun, they also state that diploma and degree is added advantage. Added advantage. But as of now, it's not a requirement for pilots to have license and also diploma/degree, right? But if you have it, good for you lah, added advantage. So at least your portfolio tu better compared to people like me where kita just graduate without any qualifications, just license sahaja, right? So you already by joining MSU, you already have the added advantage. So keep it up lah. That's what I can say. Regarding licensing, Datuk add about MPL.
MPL multi-pilot license versus CPL for commercial pilot license. For multi-pilot license, yes, that was the in thing before. Still a number of airlines follow that system. When they start flying, they don't fly on small aircraft anymore. They straight away jump into a jet, small aircraft jet. Singapore Airlines does this. Singapore Airlines use 2 Learjets for their MPL. Once they fly on jet aircraft like Learjet, then to go for type rating, they go into simulator the aircraft and they fly. That is airlines. More of airlines require what we call the standard of training of their pilots, cadets. But if you go through flying school, CAM, my time, even now, the flying school have the option of go from MPL or CPL. But if you go for MPL, you have to absorb these people to a jet straight away. It's going to be very, very expensive training. And after training, you go and fly jet. and your prospect of getting a job is not guaranteed. No. That's the reason why NPL is not very popular. Singapore Airlines, they do their own training. So if you, let's say, if one airline coming up, then they go for NPL, which is not cheap, but you get pilots who are already well trained in flying jets, and then they also jump into their 787 or A320 aircraft. Straight away they do that. So this option given to flying school and the airline, which one they want to choose. But our airlines still go for CPL, ATPL, frozen, and all these things.
You should get it.
You know, I don't know. I don't want to touch. I think Asia. Yeah. They want their cadets.
Yeah, so I just add on a little bit to what Dato' say. Then there are pro and cons towards CPL or MPL. CPL, like you say, MPL is new. CPL is already tried and tested. Okay, the progression for cadets, meaning the learning curve to cantik, right? MPL pula, Dato' say, you straight away jump to the jets. So the learning curve is steeper, right? Because you imagine compared to CPL, at least you fly the sport aircraft first, then you go to the bigger one, then you go to the big one. Then you straight away jump to the jet aircraft. So that there are pro to the airlines, satu cost, satu lagi, the success rate of you guys getting into the training will be lower sikit lah. And so airlines, kalau boleh, it's a business. They want to make sure, kalau I spend money on you, I want to make sure you pass. So if MPL doesn't give a greater chance of you guys to pass the training, so that's one of the reason why, macam Datuk said juga, MPL is not really being preferred over CPL. Okay.
Okay. Is there any more questions? One question. Last question.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nava. So, like my colleagues, I'm an aviation management student. Currently in my third year, and hopefully by the end of this year, I'll be progressing to flight training. So, my question is, just to give you a bit of background, I'm from Maldives. Prior to pursuing this degree, I worked in the Maldivian aviation sector as a customer services officer in the airport operating company. So there are questions that come to my mind, like what, like all of you here, you have chosen different prospects, different aspects of aviation to further your career. So what do you think are the most important factors I should or any us should consider when choosing? There's so many pathways we can go to in aviation, like we discussed before. What do you think are the most important factors? What are we chasing? What are we chasing? Passion, rewards, or are we chasing the money? Like, what do you think is the most important?
If you ask me, go where you like to go. Do what you like to do. If you after 3 years, you want to go to flying, go for it. So it's your choice. If you ask us, and I say that be a cabin crew, you might not like to be a cabin crew. I'm not saying, I just example. So if you want to be a pilot, go pilot. But captain is beside me. A pilot is not an easy job. Easy or what? He has a family that he leaves behind when he flies. And you have your spouse, your family when you fly. So you have to think of that as well. Sometimes I know trainee pilot who got license, he quit. He says that I want a different life because he doesn't like the life of a pilot. So it's your choice. Whatever you do, be good at it. and be a responsible person, and be a good what you do lah.
Does that answer?
Or sembahyang istiharah lah. Ask God which path you should go to. Which what we are supposed to do, isn't it?
Okay. Can I get your name again? Nawal. No, yeah. Hello, Nawal. So in Firefly, we do have Maldivian pilots, right? And I'm proud to say that Maldivian pilots are top tier pilots. Yeah. There, I remember my superior, his name is Captain Ishan. He's a pilot as well, captain with Firefly, and not just a captain. He's in charge of FDA, flight data analysis. Every year. There's also one captain, Captain Made. He's no longer with Firefly. He went back to the Maldives to fly the seaplanes. He was a cabin crew, then jumped in as a pilot, became a captain. He was my captain when I was a co-pilot. Right, I have a lot of good experiences, memories flying with Maldivian pilots, best top tier pilots. Right, but to answer your question, you are already on the pathway to become a pilot, right? Correct. You are waiting to start your flying phase. If you ask me, the life of a pilot is not as glamorous as what people think. Orang semua, I mean, people see pilots wearing uniform, right, dragging their suitcases, and then left and right you have beautiful cabin crews, or for your case, handsome cabin crews to your left and right. People think it's glamorous, stylish, right? And you walk through the passengers going to the aircraft, big aircraft, but behind the scenes is a tough job, right? If you are a pilot, a co-pilot, right? Your main job is to assist the captain, right? And to help the captain make decisions. And decisions, flying the plane is easy, okay? Making decisions is tough. That's the tough part, okay? I always tell to my student pilots, you know, any monkey can fly a plane, right? It's the decision making is what makes you average pilot or a great pilot, right? So if you want to become a pilot, you really need to have the drive, passion to be a pilot. If you do it just for the money, like Datuk say, you may not last that long. You may feel that it's too difficult because again, we are working on a roster basis. We are not working like, you know, people in the office where Monday to Friday, 8 to 5, fixed. The other days you have your off. Sometimes during the off days where your family gathers, that's the time you go for flying. All right. So you will miss out on family gatherings, events. So be prepared for that. So think about it, right? As for the characteristics that you need to have to become a pilot, I mean, based on my experience, other pilots may say different things, but for me personally, number one, if you want to become a pilot, what's important is your ability to keep calm in stressful situations, all right? To come up with the best decision you can at the time. That's number one, all right? And that skill is not easy to come by, right? I've flown with pilots where, you know, even senior pilots where when faced with some sudden fault or failures, they freeze up because they cannot think, because suddenly the workload becomes too high. They tak boleh fikir, they cannot think, right? So that ability, if you have the ability, you're already a level above average pilots, right? That's number one. Number two, like I say, pilots, we don't just fly the plane. We deal with people, right? Every time you fly with different co-pilots, you fly with you fly with different cabin crews, you liaise with different maintenance personnel, even your passengers, you fly with a lot of different kind of passengers as well. Some may be good, some may not be good, some is BS. But yeah, you need to have the ability to adapt to different characteristic and personality. And you need to be able to convince them to follow what you want them to do. And because one way, let's say if I want Sabri to do something, to do A, for example, the method I approach him may work for him, but if I use the same method on Dato', it may not work. And so you yourself need to adapt. Okay? Does that answer your question? Right. Thank you.
Do you have any more question? Sorry, ada satu.
Sorry, this is from our online. Yeah, let's keep watching from online. Okay. So the virtual participants asked is for pilot. The more how pilots' performance are being evaluated, the more flight time or the better pay, the soft landing, the better pay.
Okay, this is also a big stereotype. They say that if pilot can land smoothly, he's a good pilot. If he lands bad, he's a bad pilot.
That's what I heard always. Yeah.
Okay, so let me settle the stereotype. Smooth landing doesn't necessarily mean that you are a good pilot. All right. Of course, we try to land as smooth as possible, but there are certain times where landing smoothly can cause a greater risk to the aircraft. Okay. To be more specific, during rain, all right, where the runway is wet. So when during the runway is wet, we need to bring the aircraft down to touch the runway more firmly. Okay, the reason why is because we want to avoid hydroplaning. Right? If you touch too smooth, then you cannot break through the water layer between your tire and the wheels. All right. So during rainy season, if the pilot land more firmly, he knows what he's doing. All right. But under any normal sunny days, if he can land smoothly, okay lah, he knows what he's doing. All right. Then to answer about in order to answer about evaluation, of course, the more hours that you get, for pilots, experience is based on how many hours that you have. Like myself, I have about 6,000 flying hours total. And trust me when I say that is just a little. And there are other pilots, there are other co-pilots. I know a co-pilot in Malaysia, he has 15,000 total hours. But in comparison to me, I'm 6,000, he's 15,000, but I'm a captain, he's still a co-pilot, right? So in terms of experience, he's more experienced than me. It's just that his opportunity to become a commander is not there yet, right? So that depends on the airline. Evaluation wise, we have our KPI as well. KPI, PMS, we also have that, just like any other employees. So they judge us not based on the landing, but rather on is there any safety records on the pilot? Do we break any policies? How's our MC? How often we apply leave? And then also how proactive we are towards the company. Do we submit enough reports, suggestions, this and that? So basically, when you do things that outside, you go above and beyond what you do, yeah, you get a higher rating, right? If not, then you just be normal. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Captain Farhan. That's the last question. So to wrap up this seminar, I would like to appreciate the time and insight shared by our esteemed panelists. So I would like to acknowledge contributions of Dato' Sri, Captain Muhammad Farhan, and Mr. Sabri. Your experiences and knowledge have provided valuable insights into the world of aviation and the importance of the black box So thank you everyone for joining us today. We hope you find this seminar informative and engaging. So enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you. I'll pass it back to our MP.
Finally, we have come to the end of our seminar talk. On behalf of the management and Science University, as well as the organizing team, we would like to appreciate and thank our respective panels for the insightful sharing session, and thank you for the audience that actively participated. We would like to address our special thanks to our main sponsor, Pembinaan Uzki M. Sunia Berhad, TMI Berkat Sunia Berhad, and La Acipura. So, in conjunction with the National Training Week, our representative from HRD Corp would like to take a picture with us. So, VIP, panels, and our honorable guest, Dean of School of Hospitality, Mr. Azizul Jamaluddin, Deputy Dean of Academic and System, Mr. Shukri Johari, and Head of Hospitality Department, Madam AYSHA, please come to the stage.
Dah habis dia dah nak suami kan. 4% juga ada. Dah matikan naik. Ni matikan ni. Wah, matikan lah.